Happy holidays, everyone. I am coming to you today to show you how to make pumpernickel bread. So, the first ingredient that you will need, flour, all-purpose flour, not the self-rising flour. I had to learn the hard way. Make sure it doesn't say self-rising flour. And you will need 200 grams of this, so you'll most definitely need a measuring cup. Then you will need whole wheat flour, which looks like this. Alright. You will need 120 grams of whole wheat flour. The next ingredient is 100 grams of rye flour. Now, I want to stop it right here to tell y'all about rye flour. If you're going to be preparing your own homemade bread, rye flour is one of the most hardest things to find at your local grocery store. Been there, done that. The only store that we can find it at is Whole Foods. Whole Foods. But this is what it looks like. Organic rye flour. You will need 100 grams of rye flour. The next ingredient is 3 teaspoons of dried active yeast. So, this is our yeast, right? So, I'm getting ready to add 3 teaspoons into my bowl right here where I've already put all of those other flours in, and I will show y'all. You want to kind of make sure that you are measuring the ingredients. So 3 teaspoons of your yeast, okay? So that's number 2 I'm getting ready to drop in here. Now I just need to add one more. That's the yeast. You can find this at Publix or Whole Foods, Walmart. Now that's my 3rd teaspoon. So we're going to put that up, and then I'll show y'all the next ingredient. The next ingredient is 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Alrighty, there goes our salt. That's 1. Now we just need a half of 1. Just about that much. Throw that in your bowl. Our next ingredient is 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Dutch cocoa powder. So I'll show y'all what it looks like. You can find this at your local Walmart. So we need 3 tablespoons of that. So let's get in here. Look. Just put the spoon straight in the bag. That's 1. 2. 3. Throw that in the bowl. So this is kind of like what our bowl is looking like now. Got everything in there. We're going to set that to the side. Our next ingredient is 1 teaspoon of ground coffee. So here's the thing. I don't have coffee. So we're going to skip that ingredient. The next ingredient is 1 tablespoon of caraway seeds. So let me show y'all what that looks like. Alright. This is the caraway seeds. And once again, I could not find this anywhere but Whole Foods. Organic caraway seeds. So we need a spoonful of that. Just get them in there real good. So there's my caraway seeds. We're going to drop that in our bowl. Voila. Put that back up. Then our next ingredient is... oh, this one you're going to have to be very, very careful with. Our next ingredient is 270 milliliters of warm water. Please, please make sure that the water that you're adding to your batter is warm. So we have our 270 milliliters of water. You want to make sure you got a measuring cup, okay? We're going to add it to our batter. Just adding it. There you go. Now, the next step is 1.5 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Here's our vegetable oil. We're going to do 1.5 tablespoons. So I'm not going to be able to show you all this, but just know that I'm dropping it in the bucket. Alright, we got our vegetable oil in there. The next ingredient is a fun thing of mine. It's 3 tablespoons of molasses. Now, here's another secret. It took me an hour in the grocery store to find this. Even asking the store employees, do you sell molasses? Well, if you go and look for this, always know that molasses is on the pancake batter aisle in your local grocery store. So now I'm getting ready to add 3 tablespoons. Those are 3 tablespoons. It smells so good. That's 1. That's 2. And that is 3. So we've got that added to the batter. Now, you want to go ahead and put your oven on 400 degrees Fahrenheit. What we're going to do next is we're getting ready to knead it. Alright, what I've did is I've literally took my hands and made it into a ball, in the bowl. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take some of this rye flour and just add it here on the counter in our little workstation, because we're going to have to roll it around for about 10 minutes. So this is what we're going to do. I'll show y'all in just a minute. Put a little bit of that. Okay. So this is what I've did. I've put the rye flour on the countertop. What we're going to do is we're going to get this in a good ball. Just can't do it with the camera on, because I got to use both hands. And then we're going to roll it around in this for 10 minutes. Get it kneaded and get all the bubbles out. Alright. So as you see, we've got it right here. We're just going to play with it, roll it around in this rye flour that we've got here on the counter. Spread it out, roll it up. So you get the picture. You do this for about 10 minutes, okay, to get all the air bubbles out your bread. Then what we're going to do, we're going to take some olive oil and put it in this bowl. So I'll show y'all in just a sec. Alright, now after you're done, you just take it and ball it up into another little ball, right? It's going to feel grainy. That's okay. So you got your ball kind of tight. That's what we're working on, tight. What you're going to do, you're going to take a teaspoon of olive oil, add it into your bowl. That's good enough. All you're going to do is just take this, roll it around in the bowl, make sure it gets all that olive oil on it and it gets wet. See? Now, just going to kind of leave it like that for a minute.
Over with some plastic wrap.
And then we're going to cover it up in some saran wrap. So this is how it looks. Now we're going to cover it in saran wrap. So just cover it. And then what you do, you leave this sitting in a warm place for an hour. So what I usually do, I usually just take one of my kitchen towels and cover it up. And then you come back in 1 hour. Okay, now it's been an hour. We still got it covered. So we're going to take the covering off of it. We're going to take our saran wrap off of it. And what you'll see is you'll notice that it's double sized than what I originally showed y'all. What you're going to do is you're going to press down on it, get all the bubbles out of it. As you can see, you can hear the bubbles popping. You hear that? Hear that? So now we're going to put it back on our countertop, roll it again, and what you want to do is you want to roll it into like a sausage roll, and then we're going to throw it over here in our bread pan. So I'll show y'all. Let me get it rolled. So after you knock out those bubbles, like I said, you're going to bring it over here, you're going to knead it again, and then you're going to literally just roll it into a sausage roll. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put it in this bread thing, right? We're just going to put that over there, kind of like, you know, spread it out. And then what we do is we're going to cover it again with your saran wrap and, you know, the rag that I used again. You're just going to cover it, and then you're going to let it sit for 45 minutes in a warm area. One more time. So now, as you see, the bread is doubled in size, and we have our oven on 400 degrees, so I'm getting ready to stick it in. Alright, now you're just going to let that bake for 30 minutes, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. This is how it should look once it's done. I'm getting ready to cut a slice and show you how it looks. It looks once you cut a slice. What we're going to do, we're going to add some butter to ours. So, butter, it might be a little bit too much. Yeah, we don't need that much butter. Then we're going to sample it. We're going to go and sample a piece of our pumpernickel bread while it's nice and hot, and see how the butter's just nicely melted. Let's try it. Oh my goodness. Just follow the easy steps and you'll have homemade pumpernickel bread. Happy holidays!